Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Ung Studio, and today we're going to be making a stacked pyramid light out of wood. This project is inspired by the design of the African American History Museum in Washington, D.C., designed by the architect David Adjaye. Before we jump into the design of this project, please remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more videos like this. Now with that, let's jump into the design of this project. Here's a 3D model of the stacked pyramid light. You can start to see how the design was inspired by a series of pyramids that are inverted and stacked into one another. You can also see how this project was inspired by the African American History Museum in Washington, D.C., designed by the architecture firm Adjaye Associates. In terms of the design of all of the pieces and how they'll come together to create this light fixture, let's start off with the base. At the bottom of the light fixture, you'll see this opening here. That's where the light bulb will be located, as well as the standard table lamp base that I have. As we start to go up the side, you'll see all of the pieces that essentially come together as a trapezoid with little finger joints here on the ends. These finger joints will slot into vertical pieces that look something like this in yellow. Each of the pieces will be finger jointed 1 inch apart from one another, all the way from the base to the top of this lamp. At the very top, I decided not to have an opening because I wanted this lamp to glow. So the way that it works is the light bulb would be turned on and it would reflect off of the angles of all of the exterior pieces. When that happens, it'll hide the light bulb from direct view, but it'll create a nice glow around the light fixture itself. Here you'll see all of the pieces that I was talking about in a 3D model. All of these trapezoids will be located on the exterior of the light fixture, and that'll create that nice glowing effect because it'll be installed at an angle. All of the pieces that you see here will be the vertical posts that hold all of the exterior trapezoidal shaped pieces in place with friction fit finger joints. Now the only other pieces that I'll need are the frames for this project. You'll see here that I have 2 different frames. The bottom here will be the base of the lamp that I was talking about with the light bulb at the center, and this piece here will be the top that caps off the entire light fixture. So that's the design and the 3D model of the stacked pyramid light. Before we get into laser cutting and assembling all of the pieces, I wanted to take a moment to tell you about a mistake that I made in the 3D model that came to light during the assembly process of this project. I'll also tell you a little bit about it then during the time lapse so that you can see and understand a little bit more about what I encountered. So during the 3D modeling process, I didn't put the finger joints over each other and slot the pieces exactly where they needed to go. In fact, if the finger joints are something like this, I essentially just stopped at the very beginning and I didn't push the pieces all the way in the 3D model. So what that did was it made me undersize the size of the actual base and the top of this light fixture. So when you see it in the time lapse, you'll see me start to struggle, and then I took a second to try and figure it out by taking a Dremel and cutting some of those openings so that I can make the finger joints work. Everything else slotted together, but the areas that didn't work out were actually where the posts were located on the base and at the top of the fixture. Now with that, let's jump into laser cutting and assembling this project. And remember to show your support by liking this video and subscribing for more. So you might have noticed in the time lapse that I was struggling to get this piece here onto this base here, and I actually took a Dremel and I drilled out some of this area here. Even with that, I couldn't get these pieces to fit. So I took a step back and I asked myself, where could I have gone wrong? Well, it turns out that I didn't account for slotting this piece of wood here onto this vertical piece here and having it overlap slightly. So that ended up pushing out the dimensions of this piece here in the 3D model, and I went back and I resized it, and this is how much of a difference it was. So I wanted to take a second and just talk about this because it's important for us to mention that there are typically mistakes that will happen during the prototyping stages of a project. Now with that in mind, I'm going to try and finish this up now, and hopefully everything works out, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So that's how I make this stacked pyramid light out of wood. This project took about 8 hours total from the beginning to the end because I had to go back in, adjust the 3D model, and get new files to laser cut so that I can adjust the base and the top like I was talking about earlier. Overall, I love how this stacked pyramid light came out. I especially like the glow that comes from all of the pieces on the outside, reflecting the light from the light bulb against it. I'd love to know what you think about the design of this stacked pyramid light, so let me know in the comment section below, and remember to like, subscribe, and follow me for more.